got the extreme weather battery in now. But anyway, I don't usually like to film mobile jobs because I don't want to make the customer feel out of place. A lot of times they do hang out with me and watch me work, talk, stuff like that. But in this instance, I really don't even know if the intro is going to be salvageable. May have deleted it, but we're going to go film this mobile job. I'm going to bring you along for some of it. I'll show you the setup, show you what I got going on. It's not really going to be like a how-to because it's an excavator, and essentially it's flat glass. And with heavy equipment, it's not like if I show you how to do this one, you're going to be ready for all of them. There's so many different designs. If they've got some age to them, that complicates things. So luckily this one's brand new, shouldn't have too many hours on it at all. Was actually supposed to do this a couple weeks ago, but there was a little bit of a snag when I ordered the film for it. He wants a carbon film, which is fine, but the front windshield we're going to do in 35%, and I didn't have that in stock. And there was like a little glitch on GeoShield's website where you pick your shade, and then when the drop down menu pops up, I pick 35%, and then I pick my roll size, and I did, and then it defaulted back to 5%. So I accidentally ordered an extra roll 5% carbon, but I let them know about the little issue. They told me, they'll give me 10%, which is nice because it's really not their fault. It's just kind of one of those things. I should have double checked when before I ordered it, because that's just to put it in the cart. You still got to verify it on checkout, and I didn't, but not upset about it. I'll use it. I mean, 5% is really popular in my area. I use it all the time, so not a big deal. But 2 minutes in, so we'll button this up. We got about 18 minutes drive time left, and then when we get there, gentleman told me where he put his garage door opener, told me I could pull in right beside the machine. It's supposed to be a heated garage, which I'd hope so, because this gentleman owns a heating and cooling company, so better be heated, right? So we shouldn't have any issues there. We shouldn't have any issues with the film sticking. If it's cold, this time of year right now it's 27 degrees, so if you're in an unheated space, you're gonna be probably in for a difficult time getting your tent to stick, depending on if you've compensated with your slip solution. You can add a little bit of rubbing alcohol to it. I generally just make it less slippery, like less soap, and that works out pretty good. But we got a few turns to make, and so I'm gonna jump off here, guys. I'll catch you here in a few minutes. All right, guys, so here's the mobile setup here. It's 2018 4Runner. It's pretty simple, man. I just carry a towel basket, and I like these little project steps, platforms, whatever you want to call them. They're just really handy. I like to use them. Oh man, he's even got me an extension cord. I like to use them like this, and then show you, man, got me a trash can. We're set up. Super nice shop, man. This is goals here. So we already got an extension cord out. I don't need to use mine. Let's see here. Maybe this will help you guys see a little bit better. I got the Milwaukee pack out crate. If you go back and watch some of my older videos, I'll have a second box on there. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't really use that very much. I don't do a whole lot of mobile work anymore. So today I actually brought more than what I normally would. I brought my Cornwell bit set because I don't know if I want to take this hardware off or if I need to take the hardware off. There's a couple little windows. This is what I was talking about. Like, all these are different. All these skid steers and stuff, so I could take this plastic trim panel off. I probably will. I don't know, just to see We don't have a huge border, so we do have to be kind of tight. That window right there, I believe it is siliconed in, as well as the 4 bolts. So I'm not sure if we'll take that out, but that's why I brought a little bit more stuff than I normally would. Some sockets and stuff, impact, you know, driver. But we've got our typical glass cleaner. We got a handful of different lights. We've got tape. We got Elmer's glue. A couple different tricks you can do with this. So, like, quick example, if you're worried about dust and contamination, you can run a bead of your clear glue after you prep the glass right before you install it. Missed your tint, stick it on there, and the moisture from your slip solution is going to help get rid of this water soluble school glue. It basically just holds the dust in place. We also got our Fusion Quarter Pro little window dealios, because these ones right here, these windows are always a pain, because you've got your joysticks there and all that. So that's, I mean, it's pretty simple. Not anything extravagant as far as what we're doing setup wise. Got a keg, obviously. I'm just running one sprayer, one hose right now for 2 reasons. One, my fiance's car was parked on my other hose and I didn't feel like moving it to get the hose. And 2, we don't need 2 hoses because we're pretty much going to be working through that one access door, so it doesn't really matter. We got our Geo Shield carbon 35%. That's for the windshield. And then we've also got our Nova 20%. And that's for everything else. So like I said, this isn't really going to be a how-to on how to do these. You guys have just asked me to bring you along on mobile jobs, so I brought you along, at least for the time being. So I'm gonna jump off here, investigate this a little bit further, start just getting the glass clean, decide what I want to take apart, if I want to take stuff apart, and we'll go from there, guys. I'll be back.
There we go. That's why. And oh, I'm missing insert on that one too. What are we doing? And we found it. So hopefully you guys aren't too bored yet. I think I am gonna shut this off because this has got to be excruciatingly boring. And I'll catch up with you here when I've got something somewhat exciting to show you.
Alright guys, I got the handles off. I just laid it down here on this rug. There's no rocks or anything on there that could crack the glass. Just, you know, mostly dust and stuff. What we need to do is we need to basically, I'm not going to shave this glass. I'm just going to cut right on it. I've already scraped the old rubber off of where these latches are. And, you know, cleaned and prepped the whole thing. And then I've got my tint face down, or what do you want to call it, release liner down. So this will be the way that it actually gets installed. And we're not trying to get super, you know, we're not trying to get a shaved edge here. It's just for equipment, it's a little bit unreasonable. And I think honestly, when you do that, you go for a shaved edge, as these things get a little age to them and they get a little wobble in them, I think you're just asking for trouble. So we're just trying to basically do like a car. We're just trying to get right on the edge. Just a little consistent gap. I got this squeegeed into place so it's not going to try to move on us very much. And we're not going to install the film this way because you will 100% get a bunch of dust in it. You never want to install film laying flat. You always want to go vertical if at all possible. And that's what we're going to do. I haven't decided exactly how we're gonna do it yet, but we're gonna do it. I kind of forgot. When I originally looked at this, I didn't think we'd have to take it apart. I thought we could just cut around some stuff. But I did bring my stuff just in case, so we're just gonna go ahead and take it apart. Problem with that is I didn't bring my ladder. I've got a little ladder that's got hooks in it, so you can stand the glass up on it. But I didn't bring it, so it doesn't do us any good today, huh? Not the most beautiful, but for some heavy equipment, she'll do. Alright guys, customer's brother showed up, so I went ahead and just stopped recording because, you know, again, I don't like to make people feel weird being on camera. So you didn't get to see me install this, not rocket science. Install it, cut out every single one of these little holes. We need to be able to put this back together. So we're just going to take the heat, the torch here, just heat this up, keep it moving, don't set your towels on fire. Now, with any luck, this isn't even, I mean, I can still hold my hand on that, so really didn't do a whole lot. We don't really need it to, we just want it to set up pretty quick so that here in probably 2 hours or so, we'll be able to go ahead and install this. Started getting my other windows laid out up here. The rest of this is done in 20%. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier, but we're doing 20% on the cab and 35 on the windshield. So I'm gonna get back to it. So using a 36-inch roll, this right here is like 40 inches, so no big deal. Just turn your roll sideways, run it lengthwise. Luckily these are all pretty much perfectly flat, so no shrinking required, so it doesn't really matter which way you orient your roll. These are going to be kind of tough because of, like up here we got plenty of space, but on the sides we got some glue squeeze out in the corners. We got some gaskets around this bracket that it's not a gasket, it's glue where it's glued in. Show you that real quick. You can see one of these are rubber, but then you've got glue down here in the corners that are in the dot matrix. So I think what I'll do is I'll probably give myself room up here, cut a little bit long here, and then probably on the sides and bottom I'll just go ahead and just cut to like the last row of dot matrix, because it's going to be really tough to get a knife in here. You're not going to be able to trim it. Might be able to use a razor and just kind of separate this glue from the glass, but we're not going to be able to get it out. I highly doubt it anyway. So that's that, but mainly just going to show you the finished product, and wanted to show you guys how to do that window, because it's the life of the mobile tent. When you do stuff like this, sometimes you run into stuff that you're not expecting. But with all that being said, I gotta get back to work. Alright guys, here's the finished product. It's got stuff like caked on the glass on the outside, but she's a solid 5-footer. Didn't do the bottom panel simply because you know, if you're working the pedals and stuff, your boots are eventually going to scratch it up. I did have to trim around some areas where there was glue squeeze out from the silicone or whatever they call it that glues the glass in, mainly on the door. Everything else turned out pretty good, can't complain too much. That little window down there behind joystick is an absolute nightmare. Don't wish that on anybody. And the top one here we didn't tint because it is definitely a polycarbonate. It's not glass. They put those up there so you can see your bucket or your attachment when it's all the way up. I imagine they probably make them polycarbonate so that you know, if it breaks, it doesn't shatter and have glass all over you. But I mean, despite being low hours, it was still pretty dirty. On these, it kind of sucks because you can clean and clean. There's nowhere really for the dust to go. So you're going to end up with more dust in these than you will a car or truck or whatever. But like I said, stand back a couple feet, it looks pretty good. And it's going to block the sun, block the heat. And that's really the main goal. So thanks guys for watching. I'll see you on the next one.